Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, there's actually been some pretty interesting leaks and rumors that have been floating around. We've seen this up on Twitter, Reddit, and a few other various sources. And I kind of want to go and talk about this topic because it actually does seem somewhat realistic and as well based on all future leaks we've actually seen in regards to the Xbox Series S, also getting the earlier Pro version rather than the Xbox Series X, getting the earlier Pro version, as well as also the production numbers too with the Xbox Series X. A lot of these rumors actually are kind of shaping up to maybe be true. I'm going to go talk about the fact that it does seem like Microsoft is more so trying to go and almost even phase out the Xbox Series X, wants to more so focus on the Xbox Series S, and why that actually might be kind of a weird slash bad thing, but also why it might also kind of work out too as well for Microsoft as well. So this is a little bit more of like my own personal editorial, so you guys take it all with a grain of salt, but we actually have seen some leaks regarding this when it comes to the fact that Microsoft is toning down the production on the Xbox Series X. So we're going to talk about that, talk about where that kind of stems from, talk about why that actually might be a good idea, and I would also absolutely love to hear your thoughts on this down below. As well, if any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below for the PS5 disc digital console controller, Twitter and Twitch stream as well, link down below. Sign up for Weeble, deposit $100, you guys go get free stack and free money. Coinbase, you guys go buy $100 worth of any cryptocurrency, you guys go and get free Bitcoin, and of course, like I said, give me your thoughts down below. So, it's kind of actually been a very, very intriguing thing, and I'm sure a lot of your impressions are, wait, what? Wait, really? Wait, why? So the big rumor, this once again is not confirmed from Microsoft or Xbox themselves, but some internal leaks have actually been bringing this on up, and it's kind of been like a somewhat budding news story throughout these past few weeks. When it comes to the actual Xbox Series X, I'm sure you guys go and realize that it's definitely the slightly more sought after console between the Xbox Series X and S. But one kind of major issue is the fact that, and even in comparison with the PlayStation 5, it has just been doing astronomically bad in terms of production, in terms of cost, and without a doubt, right now, Microsoft is actually losing a lot of money on every Xbox Series X sale. Now, granted, at the end of the long run, that's okay because Microsoft's big incentive is to go and sell the Game Pass and get people paying that monthly subscription. Kind of think like Netflix or even Amazon Prime, where they may just want to have you in the ecosystem, and in the end-all be-all, they usually do make money off you off the subscription-based system. While the PlayStation 5 does make money off of that with their PS Now and PS Plus, they do also make a lot of their extra money more so from actually selling the proper games, the Ratchet and Clanks, the Death Loops, and all of that to go fund their systems. But the one big issue on the fact, and you guys can probably all know this too, is the fact that the Xbox Series X is not profitable. So every single time they go and sell a console, as I mentioned, they actually lose money. And a lot of that actually kind of comes to brand new extra resources that have been kind of coming on out when it comes to these major internal semiconductor suppliers. So as you guys probably know, the big reason why a lot of things such as the Xbox or PlayStation have been so hard to get, same with cars or laptops and phones, is we've had a massively big semiconductor issue. And as of right now, this has actually been news as of the past week or so, we actually have all these major big companies such as Sony and Microsoft having to pay even more money to go and actually secure these consoles and secure and make these consoles due to the increased price shipping costs for all these semiconductors internally. And I think some people are saying up to 20% more on the semiconductor cost for these consoles. So as of right now, the Xbox Series X has still been unprofitable and they're still not making as much money. The hardware itself, although it is better, is definitely more costly. And if you're in Microsoft's position, you'd rather have people go buy the Xbox Series S overwards because it costs less money to produce, they're making more money per console, and even then still, you're still on the actual Game Pass ecosystem and paying that extra monthly fee. As well, it's a lot less harder to go kind of maintain up that stock because it is not as sought after, so it's kind of a lot easier to go and line up the shelves and have them up on these online releases. A good example is like places like Best Buy, Amazon, and other various walk-in locations have had a very big consistent amount of Xbox Series S consoles for probably the past few months, and basically it's just very, very readily available. So overall, when it comes to the big price point, it would make sense for them to want to favor and work on the Xbox Series S and try to get more of those on the shelves and make more money. But on the secondary part too, and this is kind of the more intriguing thing that is kind of why a lot of these leaks are kind of being put together, is that the Xbox Series S will actually be getting its Pro version update / revision a lot faster than the Xbox Series X. We've seen a lot of Pro news when it comes to the Xbox Series X Pro, PlayStation 5 Pro from some leaks, and we're looking at around the 2023 to 2024 range or so. But some people were even actually speculating that the Xbox Series S Pro will be either on the tail end of 2022 or even early 2023. And that also, once again, kind of goes to the same point we made, where it's a lot easier and cheaper to go get those like lesser impactful semiconductors, GPUs and CPUs. Think on the fact of like, you could either sell maybe 1 million really high-end PCs, or you can go and sell 15 million kind of mid-tier PCs. You'll make more money and have more people on your monthly subscription on selling 15 million of them versus the Xbox Series S. So once again, with these leaks kind of saying that Microsoft wants to focus on the Xbox Series S, it kind of also goes and shows it because they want to go have that Pro version first, and they don't mind having more of a mid-tier console rather than trying to go like balls to the wall with the Xbox Series X. As well, another big kind of price factor too when it comes to this stuff, and once again with all these leaks, this is all not confirmed stuff, reminder, but when it comes to this, we also have a huge billions of people ecosystem that are now slowly getting into gaming. Now, when it comes to that is affordability. Some people actually out there, when it comes to India, China, South America, or other various places, and even in America, who maybe want to get something for their kids, maybe want to get something for a second console, maybe in their living room, or actually their also bedroom, or even college kids out there who just can't maybe necessarily afford that $500 price point. The price introduction is massive because that kind of goes hand in hand too with the actual Game Pass, where Game Pass, once again, is where Xbox is trying their best to push all the attention on PC, on phones, on the Xbox Series X and S, to kind of have that monthly subscription base and make money through there. And when it comes to the Xbox Series S, even if you guys are in India, you are in Japan, you're in the UK, Russia, wherever you are, you could still go and basically go and afford the $300 Xbox Series S, which once again would get you inside the ecosystem and paying a monthly fee. Versus on the PlayStation 5, where they do have somewhat localized pricing, a lot of things when it comes to the PlayStation 5 are not necessarily as affordable, and especially the main base cost of $400 and $500 sometimes is slightly out of people's budgets, more so on the disc edition. As well, when it comes to the Xbox Series S, since it is the all-digital console, that does also make the easeability of actually having to go make the actual game discs themselves, send them to stores, working the things in Best Buy, etc. You definitely go and tone down the cost as well. With everything being digital, you just have to more so focus on the online internal sales on that. As well as I mentioned too, with there also being more expensive prices when it comes to the actual internals, they were also easier internals to make too as well. So if you want to go for the Xbox Series X internals, they are actually quite a bit more on the next higher tier, while the Xbox Series S is more so imagine on the lower base tier internals, which are not as sought after and is basically not in competition with the PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X consoles. And lastly, you guys can even kind of see it too in terms of the restocks. So as we've mentioned, if you are losing money on every single console, as of right now, Sony is actually not losing money, and they actually are now making money after every PlayStation 5 sold. And as time goes on, they'll probably be making more and more and more as technology and this also pandemic kind of calms down. The Xbox Series X is number one, about at 1/2 of the sales. So as of right now in the console wars, they are definitely not winning in regards of like they just don't have the market share, they don't have the actual production, and Sony is basically pumping out these consoles left and right. While in the secondary factor too, as I mentioned, the Xbox Series S is a lot more easier to go and restock. It's a lot easier to get inside the shelves, and a lot more of these big companies just want to go get them because even while they may go and sit there for an extra few days, in comparison to an Xbox Series X that probably instantly sell out that same day, at least they are still working towards that. But it is kind of intriguing and kind of note because throughout these past 2 months or so, we really haven't seen too much of a consistent flow of Xbox Series X consoles. And as I've mentioned before, with some of the big Microsoft leaks floating around on the fact that they do prefer the Xbox Series S, they do want the Xbox Series S, they want people on Game Pass, they want to get the actual Xbox Series S Pro, and the fact that it's easier and cheaper and still at the end of the day works on the end result. I think a lot of people can kind of see this where they kind of want to phase out the Xbox Series X as well as kind of focus on the Xbox Series S. Now, granted, I keep on saying like kind of phase out / maybe just not as produced as much. Microsoft obviously will keep on making the consoles. They obviously will keep on making the Xbox Series X. And of course, as long as the demand is there, they'll still want to go and do it. But in terms of the overall production numbers, it does and has seemed like Microsoft's been more consistent. And they have kind of proven this by releasing and selling and kind of giving out bigger stock to these big stores for the Xbox Series S's, as well as also based on what they're doing in other various countries, such as India, Japan, China, and all those others more somewhat impoverished countries too as well, such as South America. So it is very intriguing to kind of see this and see how the actual overall thought process is with Microsoft, and we'll definitely want to see if they keep on continuing on this trend and somewhat phasing out the Xbox Series S and trying their best to go X and try to go more so put attention on the Xbox Series S. Now, once again, these leaks and rumors are not confirmed. They're not from official sources, but they've been floating around a lot ever since that higher percentage chip cost has been floating around. Same with the pros things, as we mentioned too. So give me your thoughts and comments down below. I'd be actually very, very curious to go and see. And as well, make sure you guys are subscribed. I will try my best to keep you guys up to date for all the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 restocks. As well, make sure you guys check out the Amazon links down below, the Twitter and Twitch stream as well if you guys want to follow. Sign up for Weeble, deposit $100. You guys go get free stock for money. Coinbase, you guys go buy $100 worth of any cryptocurrency. You guys go and get free Bitcoin. And I appreciate you guys all so much for existing and watching. You guys are all lovely. And I'll see you guys up in the next video itself. We have actually a lot of news to go and cover all throughout today. Love you guys.